Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're sick of this outfit, I am so sorry, but I've just recorded 5 videos throughout this entire day and I just couldn't be bothered changing my top. So anyway, today's video is my Pan That palette and pan in every palette, plus a random single that I seem to be panning all year. So basically, this is just one giant eyeshadow panning project video. If you're interested in seeing my progress from last month to this month, then let's just get straight into it because I'm going to die of being so warm. Okay guys, so, let's just start with, we have 3 eyeshadow palettes to talk about and 1 single shadow, and I'll just explain it as we go because we're going to be here for the day otherwise. Okay, so the first palette I've been working on for, it was a year. I've been saying to 2 years to people in comments left, right and center. It was a year in May. Okay, so we're now June. It's a year. Now I'm kind of sick of it though. Anyway, here is my Modern Renaissance. This is the first palette I've been panning from ABH. I like all of the palettes. I'm just sick of panning so much eyeshadow, okay? So anyway, let me show you where I was last time. And let me show you where I am now. I don't know about you guys, but when I look at videos, I find it very hard to tell, but I feel the need to include it before any photo close-up. So anyway, first of all, I was 177.29 the last time in grams. And now I am 176.34. So I went down 0.95. Woohoo! Oh my god, I just couldn't be happier. The last time I went down 0.46 grams, so at least I went up here. I went up because I was like, what am I going to do to show usage here? Look at all my work here today. I've been putting in a lot of effort. Okay, so let's pop up on the screen and go through the uses so that you can see. I'll point out what's different. So Golden Ochre is the first shade that you can see. I haven't looked at the before pictures, I'm doing it from memory. But in person, Golden Ochre, see that little U? You see the U-y bit of the U? That's so thin now and it's thick on the sides. And I use that let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I used it 10 times this update. 10 times, which is good for me. Okay, what's next in the palette? Antique Bronze. I used that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We've used Antique Bronze 5. Love Letter, I used it only the 1 time. Cypress Umber I've used twice, but it looks a bit narrower on the corner there. Do you know the right hand corner? Next row, Raw Sienna. Goodbye, goodbye, thank God you're gone. No, I'm only messing. I like the shade, right? I'm just so waiting for this to be over. Does that make sense? Because I just picked, if I picked 1 palette, it wouldn't have been as bad. Because I could have just dipped in and out. But Raw Sienna is gone. And I used it another 13 times to finish it. So we have 1 eyeshadow empty this month. Thank the Divine Lord. Burnt Orange, I used 8 times. There's a little bit of a dip in Burnt Orange now, but nothing close to pan, but we have a dip. Red Ochre, I used it twice. Venetian Red, I used 3 times. Warm Taupe, I finished Warm Taupe, guys. We have now 2 empty pans to share this month in this palette, and I'm so happy. Warm Taupe, I believe, I'll double check before editing this video and pop the number on the screen just to be sure. But in terms of when I started counting, I have used Warm Taupe over 100 times. Probably well over 120 times. I use it on my eye. I use it as a nose contour, a chin contour, a face contour, and an eyebrow shade. I didn't use it every day that way, but every day I would have used it in my eyebrows and on my nose, at least. And then Realgar, is it Realgar or Realgar? Because I hear people saying Realgar, but it looks like it's Realgar. But anyway, I use that only the 1 time. So we have 1 pan left to hit in this palette, and then we have pan in every single shade. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 empty pans. Oh, if I had 7, it would have been exactly halfway, or like half of the palette empty. But if you were looking at this in my drawer, you'd know it's love now. So I feel like prioritizing this palette at this time of year because of the next palette. But anyway, here's my first palette. We have 2 empty pans to share with you today. and some progress, which I'm really happy because for most of the month I was like, am I going to have anything to show? I don't know if that was long-winded, but I apologize. Palette number 2 is my Subculture. This is my Subculture palette from ABH. I love this palette. Initially when I first used it, I did not because it was so pigmented and hard to blend, but I think now I'm just used to it because I've been using it for so long. So Subculture, let me show you where I was the last time. Let me show you where I am now. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but I will point it out. So first, before I do that, the weights. We went from 189.42 down to 189.10. So I went down 0.32 this time and 0.16 grams the last time. So overall, we've used more eyeshadow this time, which is so, I just don't get it. Just don't even get it. So anyway, now let's pop the uses up on the screen so you can see what the story is. There is no Dawn. Destiny. We only use Destiny once, so I'm finding these deeper. These are all really pigmented, and at this time of year, I tend to kind of want things a bit lighter and fluffy, if that makes any sense. Oh, it's so fluffy I could die. Okay, Destiny, we said we used that once. Now, Adorn is gone. I love Adorn. I love the shade Adorn, but it's officially gone, which means in my Pan That Palette, plural, all of my lid shades are officially gone, or what I would use as a lid shade. I could use Antique Bronze, but all of my lid shades are officially gone, which means now I have freedom to use lid shades and then just use the mattes from these palettes. But anyway, Adorn, I used it another 8 times. I used Adorn for 8 days in a row. 8 days in a row because I was so committed. And I haven't done that kind of look panning since my early panning career. So that's how dedicated I was to finishing that. All Star, I didn't use that this month. Mercury I used 3 times. I don't know how because it's very deep on me. It looks like a dark grey charcoal in the pan, but my God, it's like a black on my eye. And it doesn't work on the eyebrow for me because my hair, so my eyebrows are so light in comparison. If anyone has any tips, I really appreciate the tip that someone left underneath my video the last time saying to use Mercury as a lid shade and use some duochromes over the top. That severely helped. You'll see it in the looks at the end. If I took a picture of it, God, I hope I did. Axis. I haven't used Axis, although I feel like I have because you can see like the pan expanding and at a lighter colour. Roxy is the next row. I used Roxy 6 times. Like Roxy I use a lot. It's kind of thick on the right hand corner and thin everywhere else. I use it a lot. There's a lot of kick up to it, but it seems to be taking a long time. It's the easiest shade for me to use right now at this time of year in my mind. So then we have Fudge. I don't think I use Fudge. No, I'm working on other browns, so I leave Fudge till the end. New Wave. I've used New Wave 4 times. Untamed. I didn't use Untamed. Edge. Nope. And Rowdy twice. I used Rowdy as a liner twice. Remember I did that look 8 days in a row? Yeah, 2 of those times were with this. So there we are with my Pan That Palette portion. Now let's move into Pan in Every Palette and get this video over for you guys. So I'm really happy with that because that means we finished 3 eyeshadows this month. Like we had 3 empty pans to share, and I have been saying for ages, I don't really, like it's very hard to show progress at this point. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in terms of this palette, we have 2 pans left to hit and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 empty pans. So that's good. That's good considering that palette has always been like the second in line for the throne. My pan in every palette is the Norvina. I picked a focus shade, okay? So I don't know what footage I have. I prefer to do photos for this because I am only technically working on one, but I'm using the palette. I've been working on the shade Wild Child in here. I think going forward for pan in every palette, I just want to hit pan in the palette. Like this section, I just want all of my palettes to look loved. So I will, going forward, just not necessarily pick a pan and just go for it. But anyway, I've picked Wild Child, but I've been using the shade Love so much. There's even a bit of a dip in Love. Wild Child I've used in total now 7 times. I believe I've only used it 3 times this month. 3 times because I was so focused on Adorn. There's only so many days in the month and I wanted to play as well. But it's starting to look a bit used. Do you know? I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to look a bit used. I don't want though, you know, like I really want to do Pando's eyeshadows, but you know the way then you just have one random hole in a palette? Like I do want it to be loved. It's not a rush. It's not a rush. But what I have found is that I'm using the shade Love so much as a crease shade with my Modern Renaissance reds everywhere else. Oh my god, I have it on today. What am I saying? I have it on today. I don't know if it's any good pointing it out because it's melted. But I find that this Wild Child shade isn't hugely... Like, it's not like it's a metallic. It's definitely just a regular shimmer, almost satin on me. I think some people said they hit pan and Wild Child in like 20 uses and I'm on 7. So since I finished my lid shades in the other palettes, I think this month now Wild Child is going to be my focus, and then the reds in the Modern Renaissance. And then if I can do anything with the Subculture, that'd be great. But my focus going forward for this month is going to be the Modern Renaissance and this, you know, and love which pan I hit. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be great. Then I always have a single eyeshadow in, guys, always. But I don't know if I showed this to you this month or last month, but I'll roll where I was the last time. If it's a photo, if it's a clip, I'm not sure, but I'll show it to you. And it was the cream shade in the Makeup Revolution Stripped and Bare palette, but I have decluttered that palette and I depotted this shade. I depotted any of the shades I was going to use and I got rid of the rest. So here's where I am now. Look at my Juicy Lucy pan you wool. If I do say so myself, it's quite a juicy looking thing. So I have used this pan a total of 34 times now. 34 times. It's shallow everywhere. Shallow everywhere. I should stop working on the middle because then I end up having to repress it. You know, but anyway, it's a huge pan. I've used it 34 times. I use it 19 times in June and twice in July because we're the 2nd of July now. So 19, 20, 21. I use it 21 times since you've last seen it. And we have Juicy Lucy Panule on that. So now we've another pan hit. Woohoo! I also have bonus pan this month. I've been working on this shadow here from Essence in Hazel Me Not. If I have a close up, I'll put it there. It is pinprick pan, but it's still pan. I mean, I'm not panning it and I panned it. Like I'm using it every day in place of what I was using warm taupe for. I need something for that, so that's what I've been using here. Now, normally here I show you percentages, and I have not, I totally forgot that this is a section of my video. I show you a palette percentage. Last month, I believe I had 72 eyeshadow palettes. I have since decluttered my collection down to 65, and some of those did have pan. So the next bit I show you, or else over my face, will be the number of eyeshadow palettes I have, which is 65, and what percentage of those have pan. And I'll show you the before last month versus this month. So everything's going to be different now because I did declutter. We have less palettes to work with. Okay guys, so that was my eyeshadow palette video for the day or for the month. I hope you're doing well. Hope your eyeshadow usage is going well. How do you find, in terms of your regular eyeshadow usage, how do you find that it goes in the warmer time? Is that, because I kind of struggle with that. I want to play more then. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you the next time. Bye.